Ever wondered if the legendary Loch Ness Monster could actually be a surviving Plesiosaurus? Welcome to the fascinating world of the Plesiosaurus, a marine reptile that once ruled the oceans during the Mesozoic era. This intriguing creature, with its long neck and four flipper-like limbs, has often been linked to the enduring myth of Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. Some enthusiasts argue that Nessie could potentially be a Plesiosaurus that managed to defy extinction. But could a Plesiosaurus really have survived all this time? The idea of a Plesiosaurus living in Loch Ness is indeed captivating, but it's not supported by science. Let's start with the fact that plesiosaurs were marine reptiles, living in warm seas during the Mesozoic era, around 200 million years ago. The Loch Ness, however, is a freshwater lake, and it's much too cold for a plesiosaur, which likely needed warmer waters to survive. Then there's the question of diet. Plesiosaurs were carnivores, feeding mostly on fish and squid-like creatures. The Loch Ness simply doesn't have the abundant and diverse marine life that a plesiosaur would need to sustain itself. Reproduction is another area where the Loch Ness Monster myth falls apart. Plesiosaurs likely laid their eggs on land, similar to modern sea turtles. But where in the Loch Ness would they do that? It's surrounded by steep hills, not sandy beaches. Lastly, let's talk about the Earth's changing climate and geography. Since the time of the Plesiosaurus, the Earth has gone through dramatic shifts, including ice ages that would have been impossible for these marine reptiles to survive. And remember, the Loch Ness itself was carved out by glaciers only about 10,000 years ago, long after the plesiosaurs had disappeared from the face of the Earth. So, as exciting as it might be to imagine, Nessie isn't a Plesiosaurus. Another common misunderstanding is that the Plesiosaurus was a dinosaur. But is that really the case? Well, not exactly. Despite its prehistoric origins and reptilian traits, Plesiosaurus was not a dinosaur, but rather a marine reptile. Now you might be thinking, but aren't dinosaurs reptiles? Yes, they are, but not all reptiles are dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are a specific group of reptiles that lived on land. They have unique anatomical features, such as upright stances and specific hip structures, that distinguish them from other reptiles. On the flip side, marine reptiles like Plesiosaurus lived in the water. They had flippers instead of legs, and their bodies were adapted for swimming, not walking on land. They existed around the same time as dinosaurs, but they are not classified as dinosaurs themselves. So let's clear the waters here. Not all prehistoric creatures are dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are a specific subgroup of reptiles, and Plesiosaurus, despite its reptilian traits and prehistoric origins, falls outside that group. So despite what you may have heard, Plesiosaurus was not a dinosaur. So, what have we learned about Plesiosaurus today? We've unveiled some fascinating truths about this prehistoric creature, haven't we? We've debunked the age-old myth of the Loch Ness Monster being a surviving Plesiosaurus from the Jurassic era. As cool as that sounds, it's simply not possible. These marine reptiles could not have survived into the present day due to drastic changes in climate and habitat. We've also clarified a common misconception. Plesiosaurus was not a dinosaur, despite what popular culture might suggest. They were, in fact, marine reptiles, a different group of reptiles entirely. It's important to remind ourselves that they were a part of the diverse and incredible world of prehistoric life, each creature unique and distinct in its own right. The truth about these fascinating creatures helps us understand more about our planet's history and the evolution of life. Remember, knowledge is the key to appreciating the marvels of our prehistoric past.